Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video. Today we are here with part 51 of our F1 2021 MyTeam career mode here for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix at the Jeddah Street Circuit. Should be a good one, normally a good race around here. Last time out we were at our home Grand Prix in Australia, where we unfortunately didn't score too many points after that incident we had at turn 3 with Leclerc. In terms of the driver standings, it is ourselves ahead of our teammate Verstappen and Leclerc third. It is a title fight between the three of us. We have 13 points over our teammate and 16 points over Leclerc. It's too much of a gap for Carlos Sainz and anyone else behind them to catch up to us in the title. So yeah, 2 rounds to go, 3 people for the title. There's a lot to fight for. Unfortunately, we didn't get pole position this time out. That goes to Charles Leclerc, so he's in the box seat to try and make up a bit of that gap. We are in third, and unfortunately Max has an engine penalty again here this time out, so he's starting a bit further down the field, but he's proven many times before that he can move up the grid. So yeah, let's have a look at the whole qualifying rundown.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and talented Spaniard Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Benjamin, Lewis Hamilton and Vettel, Gasly, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon, Bottas, Tsunoda, Max Verstappen and Russell, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Nobuharu Matsushita and Lando Norris. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Mazepin, Mick Schumacher, Schwartzman and Nicholas Latifi. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So here we are lined up on the grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We're in 4th after qualifying here in Saudi. Other important positions, as I said, Leclerc on pole position. He's lined up alongside Carlos Sainz, who's done very well last time out. He got the win in Australia. This time out, he's qualified on 2nd, so it looks like he's carried a bit of that form over to get onto the front row. Ourselves, we are in 4th, as I just said. Bottas is with an engine penalty down in P11. He did qualify further up the grid, obviously, but yeah, that penalty's put him down the grid. Same too with our teammate Verstappen, was also up towards somewhere around where we were, but yeah, got a penalty or two, and that's put him down in 13th. And same with Lando Norris, the reigning champion, who finished 2nd last time out in Australia. He qualified right up the front of the grid as well, as you'd expect, and he is right down in 18th place. So a few people with penalties. Be interesting to see if any of them are able to make their way back up through the field. It's a shame to see Max get another penalty, especially since his last one was literally last time out in Australia. It would have been really helpful for him to be up the front towards here with us to try and seal the constructors. But we are underway here under the floodlights for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's an alright start. We don't lose any positions off the line, but we are now side by side with Pierre Gasly, who goes side by side with us through turn 1 and 2. But we do get the better exit there and get it ahead of the AlphaTauri. Up ahead, Sainz versus Leclerc, who's going to come out ahead of those two. It looks like it's going to be Leclerc there, unfortunately for us. Our title rival has gotten into the lead. Yeah, we really needed Sainz to get ahead there, because if we're not careful, Leclerc is just going to run away with this. But we are right behind Sergio Perez. Unfortunately, not really able to do anything there. We weren't quite close enough. As we now head down this back straight, we are right tucked in behind that Red Bull, and we're going to be, with ERS, have a go down the inside here at the end of the 2nd sector, start of Sector 3. Here we get the move done there. Very close, very tight here around the streets of Jeddah, but we do get the move done there after sort of forcing Perez to go a little bit wider through there, and that is us into 3rd place now. Gasly, though, actually having a look at making a move on the senior Red Bull. He's not quite able to do it, though, so Perez is going to be behind us still as we head onto the main straight. You can see Leclerc and Sainz already starting to pull a little bit of a gap on us. Gasly, is he going to be able to go for a move on Perez? Doesn't look like it, but Perez will go for a move on us. He's going to go to our outside for turn 1 here. We'll have the inside line for turn 1, same as what we did with Pierre Gasly here. We'll have the outside for turn 2, which will give us the better exit. And we do get back ahead of the Red Bull there. You can see Perez trying to find a way through, but he's not quite able to. And you can see just a little bit further on here on lap 2 now, Gasly falling into the clutches of Lewis Hamilton, who's going to try and go for a dive here at the hairpin. They are going to go side by side the whole way through here. It is a very fast hairpin though, so Gasly pretty easily able to hold it around the outside. but they're going to go side by side through this whole section now. Is one of them going to pull ahead here? No, they're going to keep going side by side. So this is some great driving by Pierre Gasly, trying to prove that he's worth a top seat here in Formula 1 as he goes side by side with a 7-time champion in the Mercedes. And Gasly actually does pull back ahead of the Mercedes there. So, yeah, very good driving from Gasly to hold off the charging Lewis Hamilton and sort of backing the 7-time champion into Sebastian Vettel as we now head on to lap 4. Here comes Sergio Perez yet again with DRS, and it's a much easier move there done for him now that he's able to open that rear wing and give him that little bit of extra boost down the straight. And you can see trying to get a little bit of a better exit to get back ahead, but just going to have to sit behind and bide our time here behind the Red Bull and try and get a move done a little bit later on, which you can see still on lap 4 here. This is what we're going to try to do. This is where we pass him on lap 1. We're not quite close enough to go for the same move again, so I'm just going to sit him behind, be a bit tactical. Instead of trying to send a dive bomb, we're going to wait for the DRS zone just here to try and get a move done on the Mexican. You can see we are closing. He goes defensive to the inside, so we're going to go to the outside here for the final corner. But Perez obviously going for a big send, so I'm going to just let him have that, get the worst exit, we'll get the better exit, and again we'll have DRS. You can see we're already right behind him. We've got Slipstream, ERS, and DRS. We're going to go to the outside for turn 1. It looks like we might have a bit more of a side-by-side affair here, although actually no, just before we get to the corner, we do get ahead and Perez just decides to pull him behind us and wait for his time to make another move back on us now on lap 5 as we cut a bit more forward to the end of lap 6. So you can see we've actually been able to pull over a second to Sergio Perez. We're just about within a second of Carlos Sainz. We're going to get DRS the whole way down this straight, and that allows us to close up to the McLaren a little bit. Leclerc, unfortunately, is pulled away. Sainz hasn't really been able to battle him. But, yeah, this DRS really helping us out now, get even further away from Perez, and that is helping us close in on Sainz. You can see we've set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as we head down towards turn 1. We have a little look to the inside there to see if we can maybe scare Sainz out of it, but in the end, he does hold position, so we're just going to close up to him to get a little bit of a better exit out of turn 2, actually. We're very good out of those first 2 corners, and we're just going to have to sit and wait to make a move on the McLaren here. But you can see we've actually got a rear wing failure there, so we're not going to have any DRS on the McLaren, at least for a couple laps here, while the team tries to sort this issue out. Hopefully they get it sorted out so that we can try and get on with our race. But you can see we have to wait till the end of lap 8. DRS is still inactive for us, but we're going to have to just do it with pure slipstream and ERS alone here, as we're going to try and force Sainz to the inside as much as possible to make this move easy for us. And you can see there we do get the move done before we even get to turn 2 there. So we got it done in the first part of that turn 1-2 chicane. And now we've got to see if we can maybe chase down Charles Leclerc with that 3-second lead. But you can see cutting forward to lap 10, we're going to have a radio.
Be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage. No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
So that's not ideal there, having a little bit of front wing damage. We are meant to come in this lap for a pit stop anyway. You can just see understeering through there though, and that'll be why we've lost now 1.5 seconds to Charles Leclerc up ahead here in a couple laps, and why we now have it once again Carlos Sainz coming at us here down the straight with DRS. Sergio Perez also getting involved with this. Everyone else is a little bit too far behind to try and benefit from our little bit of a lack of pace here, but we do come into the pit lane here at the end of lap 10 for a pit stop. We're actually going to be the only car to do so, at least of the very front pack here, and we're going to have to change our front wing at the same time because, yeah, I wasn't a fan of that understeer that we had, and around this track, a very, very fast-flowing circuit this is here in Jeddah. We really need a full front wing if we want to be competitive. You can see the mediums go on. It is going to be a one-stop strategy from softs to mediums. We get the front wing change, and now let's see if we can do anything about maybe getting an undercut on everyone, because, of course, we've lost time there with changing the front wing, but hopefully we have the pace on these mediums to at least make up the time that we lost with the front wing. If we could maybe even, you know, gain past that as well, then that'd be even better. You can see Sainz, Perez, and Leclerc continuing on here for another lap at least. But we've got Sebastian Vettel, Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, Pierre Gasly, Max Verstappen all coming in for a pit stop. Lando Norris as well, by the looks of things, coming in for a pit stop. All these guys going onto the medium tyres. It'll be interesting to see where we come out in relation to them. If you look to the left-hand side, you can see there's us just appearing. We're about to go across this finish line. There we are as we head into turn 1. Are we going to get ahead of these guys? Unfortunately, Hamilton just comes out ahead of us. You can see getting a little bit of wheel spin for myself there as I enabled overtake mode real early because I was really trying to get in front of that Mercedes, but instead I'm now going to have to sit behind and just wait through this first sector here and just try and deal with the dirty air now after having such a nice outlap with the new front wing on. You can see really struggling to keep on the racing line with the dirty air. We do get some DRS there, but it's not really enough to catch up. We have to wait for a little bit further on in the lap here. You can see on lap 12 with DRS, very, very easy move done on the Mercedes there. He just didn't really have anything to fight with. DRS around here is very, very strong, but you can see we've actually set a purple second sector. And as we come out of the final corner, get a little bit of a wobble on exit, but that's all right. We're going to come across the line to set another fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We've got Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and Carlos Sainz into the pit lane. Sainz, though, for whatever reason, on the hard compound tyre, Hamilton comes back at us into turn 1. Perez is going to come out just behind us there, actually, and we do get the move done on Hamilton, so we're going to come out in second place. So after all of this, including a front wing change, somehow we've come out ahead of all these guys. Perez actually losing out to Sebastian Vettel as well there, so yeah, I'm sure he won't be overly pleased with the way that whole pit stop phase has worked out there, Sergio Perez. But Carlos Sainz, for whatever reason, on the hard compound tyres, and has lost a whole bunch of time on his in-lap there to be down in P6. As we now move on to lap 14, we've got Lewis Hamilton coming back at us now. He has the DRS into turn 1. He's going to go around our outside, and we're going to perform a beautiful cutback move there. Look at that. That was just so clean. Well done there. As we head further on into the first sector, Hamilton actually losing out to Sebastian Vettel as well, who gets ahead of the 7-time champion. So, yeah, that doesn't work out there, although Hamilton actually got back ahead of him, and now Vettel again onto lap 15. He's going to come back at Hamilton again. So these guys battling away is going to massively help us pull a little bit of a gap here. We've got 9 seconds to try and close in to Charles Leclerc. I don't know if that's going to be possible because Leclerc has a lot of pace. But at least these guys battling means we don't have to worry about the guys behind us. You can see they go side by side, and Vettel does eventually get the move done on the Mercedes there. And it becomes a 1-3 here in Jeddah for Ferrari, which is very good for them in terms of the constructors. So we've got to be careful about that. As we head on to lap 18 now, we set another fast lap of the Grand Prix. So having the clear air really helped us. We set a time faster than the time that we had with DRS. So yeah, it just sort of goes to show as the race went further on, I was getting a little bit quicker. We did lose our DRS again. You can see at the bottom right there, the little warning symbol just showing that our DRS is having another failure. But luckily for us, it doesn't affect us whatsoever because we're not meant to be getting DRS where we are on track anyway. But you can see we've got 11 seconds to Charles Leclerc in first. And as I was saying about the constructors, Max is right down in 9th. And Ferrari currently have a 1-3 here in Jeddah. So those guys are going to be closing in on us massively. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to seal the Constructors' title this time out. You can see into turn 1, Hamilton round the outside of Sebastian Vettel. Vettel tries to hold it round the outside of turn 2, similar to what we've done a few times here already this race. As we head into the tight left-hander, Hamilton around the outside there, gets the move done on the Ferrari, who has to slot back in just ahead of the Red Bulls there. The Red Bulls, though, are very, very close, and I'm sure Perez is going to be wanting to try and get a move done. He'll be hungry to get himself a bit further up in front of these guys here, but as they head down towards the hairpin, Bottas, who has had a really good comeback from 11th, goes for a massive dive bomb on his teammate there into the hairpin and gets himself up into 5th. So Bottas showing heaps of pace. He's been able to get himself up the field after starting in 11th after having that engine penalty, and those engine parts looking to be working well there for the Finn there in the Red Bull as he gets himself into 5th. Looking back on our view here on lap 29, just sort of checking in on our position, it's still 11 seconds to Charles Leclerc. At this point of the race, myself and Leclerc were consistently doing lap times within a 10th or 2 of each other, and so the gap wasn't really changing. The gap to the cars behind, though, was changing a lot. You can see 6.5 seconds now, because those guys just keep scrapping for 3rd place. And yeah, that just allows us to open up the gap by just staying clean and consistent. And I was setting, yeah, real good times, about a 10th or 2 off of the fastest lap that I set a few laps earlier that we had a look at on lap 18, as we now have a look at only 2 laps to go here, really 1 lap to go, because this is the last corner of the second last lap. Bottas with a massive send there on the Ferrari. Sebastian Vettel gets himself into 4th. Bottas is going to go for a podium here in Jeddah after starting with that engine penalty. He is going to have the DRS on Lewis Hamilton, so it's certainly possible. He's going to go to the inside of turn 1 here. Does he have the move? Hamilton's certainly going to fight it, obviously, there in the Mercedes, but Bottas around the outside of turn 2. He gets the better exit, and Bottas is into 3rd ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So great racing there from Valtteri Bottas to get ahead of his teammate, get ahead of a bunch of these cars here. And looking back at Max, he's just been stuck in 9th place this entire time. It's a real shame to see that a teammate hasn't really been able to make many moves on this pack. He's just been sitting in this battle for ages, not really doing anything. But now that it's the last lap, it looks like he's changed his mind on that. He's going to go for a massive dive on Pierre Gasly here in the hairpin. Sort of scares Gasly into running a little bit wide there so that Max moves himself up into 8th. So it's really not a lot there as the Haas gets himself out of the way there nicely. Thankfully there for everyone. But yeah, unfortunately, Max only scoring a few points here this weekend by the looks of it. And that's going to put him out of contention for the title, I think. I'm not sure. We'll have to see at the standings at the end of this. Here's ourselves here just completely on our own. But Charles Leclerc is going to come through and take a dominant victory here in Saudi Arabia. It's been a while since Leclerc won a race. Not since the first half of the season, I don't think he's won a race. But that's what he needed at this point to keep himself in the title fight. And we're going to come through for a pretty good P2. And it looks like the title fight's going to go down to the last round in Abu Dhabi.
Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you pulled through. Thank you.
A sterling effort from the team and a magnificent drive to secure victory here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
And with that there, Leclerc gets his first win since round 4 of this season in Portugal. So good to see Ferrari still have what it takes to win, but for us, that means we've really got to put in the work next time in Abu Dhabi if we want to win this driver's title. We will be leading the championship by 10 points over Charles Leclerc, and I can confirm Verstappen is now out of the running, unfortunately. He just didn't score enough points this time out to keep himself in the title fight, but here are the race results. Leclerc winning by 11.5 seconds over ourselves. Valtteri Bottas did hold on to P3 in the end there with an amazing comeback. Driver of the day you may have seen there at the end of the race. You can see here are the driver's standings, though. 10 points over Leclerc, 28 points over Verstappen, and that means Verstappen cannot win the title now, as the max points on offer next time out in Abu Dhabi is 26 points. So it is just a straight fight between myself and Leclerc now. Zvezky Kmart Racing versus Scuderia Ferrari for the drivers' standings, as well as the constructors' standings as well. That is an important fight that we are trying to win as well. Obviously, really the main focus of MyTeam is supposed to be the constructors' standings. We haven't won a driver title or a constructor title yet as a team or as just ourselves. And so obviously this season being our final season on this iteration of the game, we're going to be going for both of those things next time out. We really want to win. We got 25 points over Ferrari, so it is advantage to us heading into the final round of the season. It's just about trying to make sure we maintain that advantage come the end of the race next time. But yeah, we'll be in Abu Dhabi at the Yas Marina circuit for the next one. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. And I'll see you all the next one for the finale. Goodbye.